Hey everybody, Brant here with Nutrition First Coaching. So let's talk about a topic that is pretty challenging, and really we know our nutrition always revolves around social gatherings, parties, getting together with friends, even just family. So in those social gathering situations, there's a lot of things that I tell clients to stick to and some basic principles that will keep you on your nutrition plan and keep it from being kind of a disaster situation. So the first thing, and this goes along with pretty much everything involving your nutrition, is just planning ahead. So if you think of the day and plan the day out, so say you have something coming up that evening, well, you can kind of decide how many calories you want for that evening. Maybe it's going to be a barbecue, so there's going to be more protein and fat involved. So you're going to save a lot of that for the evening, and you're going to try to limit kind of carbohydrate intake in the evening. Then you're going to think like, okay, I can have a little bit more for breakfast and lunch, and I'm going to have less protein and fat, and then I'm going to have a little bit more carbs in there. Maybe even get a workout in that day, so then you got a little bit more calories burned. And then when it comes to the evening, you have a little more leeway in the categories of protein or fat, or however you want to design the day. That also goes into kind of thinking about just in general, if you're going out to eat somewhere, looking at the menu, and you can kind of work your way backwards on that. You can kind of decide what you want to eat, and then that'll help you plug all that into your day. Then you can be approximate in your proportions, and you're getting in that calorie budget and kind of staying in that quantity window. That kind of takes us to the next thing, which is if it is a social gathering, say it's a potluck or it's some kind of work party or whatever, and you can bring something, this is where you can have some pretty good control over something you want to have at the party. And usually for me, this is like a big green salad. Then you can get a bunch of those veggies put in there, and from there, you can kind of go to the next rule and kind of start to visualize your portions of things. Now with this, say you're at the social gathering and you're kind of looking at your plate, you can decide a couple different methods to use. You can say, okay, I need a palm's worth of protein, a fist of starchy carbs, and then everything else is vegetables with a thumb's worth of fats for flavoring. So this is an easy way to kind of visualize what you're going to put on your plate. The other one I like a lot too is the plate method. And this isn't the my plate method. This is the plate method of looking at your plate, taking it into 100% of accountability. You got that 50% is going to be veggies. The other 50% that's left, half of that is going to be protein, maybe even a little bit more depending on how you budgeted for that day. And then what's left of that 50% is going to be your starchy carbs. And this could be, like a piece of cake in there, or some other, delicious kind of social gathering type of food. And then you're just going to use fat for flavoring on there. Maybe it's a dressing on the salad, or, some kind of sauce with, sticking with 1 to 2 tablespoons, which is kind of back to that thumb to 2 thumbs worth, depending on, your size and the quantities you need. And then that kind of goes into the hidden calorie part. So be careful of all the dips and the nut mixes and the really dense desserts where you can get 300, 400, 500 calories without even really thinking too much about it. Be careful and use those for flavoring on things, or having small portions for the desserts just to be able to taste them a little bit and have a little bit of that freedom inside your structure. That's where things can get out of control, and all of a sudden you've gotten into 1,500 or 2,000 calories in one meal. This is where it comes down to just the basic principles. So if you stick to this, you can kind of apply this to any situation. Maybe you all of a sudden last minute had to go out to eat, so you weren't able to kind of plan the day out or bring anything, and visualizing it's going to be a little more challenging. But if you stick to veggies first, lots of veggies, try to fill up on that bulk and get a lot of volume in there. Then you go to proteins, get those nice lean proteins in there, proportions of kind of estimating what 4 to 6 ounces is. And, that can go with your palm, or maybe you've weighed and measured that, so you kind of have a general idea. And then the last thing is going to be that fat for flavor. If you can stick to that and stay away from all the starchy carbs and the desserts and the fatty sauces and the high calorie sauces, then you're going to have a great meal. You're going to eat super healthy, and you're probably going to be within your quantity range for sure. and you're going to be full too. So you're not going to be starving after this meal, and everybody's just going to think like, wow, that was a pretty normal meal. They're not going to think you're this guy in the corner or this gal in the corner with their Tupperware picking stuff out of there and wishing they could eat something that was way more tasty. So stick to those basic principles. And then the last thing I would say is, just don't let it be a complete blow up. And this can happen when alcohol gets involved. Of course, you have a few drinks, inhibitions are lowered, things start to just get pounded down. That's when I would say get away from the foods, throw your plate away so you're not tempted to just keep loading your plate up. And if you're not in sight of the food or smelling the food, then you've got a lot better chance, out of sight, out of mind, to not want to eat a whole lot more. Just because I'm getting older and drinking a lot is not all that appealing to me anymore. I usually make one good mixed drink. I'll keep the carb content really low. So, you can use a diet tonic water, or you can use a soda water with whatever you're drinking, gin and tonic or vodka soda, something like that. And just make a pretty good size one, put a little bit of the alcohol in it, and you can sip on that thing for a couple hours and feel social, but not have to be like pounding these drinks or having these super high carb mixes or these super high carb and calorie beers too. And that's going to keep you from kind of losing, the inhibition and just going crazy and kind of having a complete blow up. So think about these things in your social gathering situations. And, if you stick to some of these basic principles, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're not going to have to be, that weird person with their crazy nutrition. And, if that's the case, you should be really dialing something in that you got to hit an exact weight for a lifting meet, or you got a photo shoot coming up. I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy, and those are the things where this will make you social. This is where you're eating to get a good body composition. You're being healthy internally. You're eating for longevity. All those goals are coming together, and you're really enjoying your social life. And this is where it's a lifestyle and it's not this weird diet plan. So apply these things as we start opening the world back up to all your social gatherings, and see how you do with it. If you get some questions, let me know. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and let us know what else you want to learn about, and really start to put this thing into a nutritional lifestyle. All right, take care.